What's up, guys? It's Stanky here again, and I'm just doing another replay analysis for this Slark player. He made a post on Reddit initially about his Ursa gameplay, but that's too old for me to do now, so I looked through for another game that would be suitable, and I found this Slark game. Um, First off, I just wanted to go over your starting items really quick. I don't like the double slippers of agility. It's a really it doesn't do a lot for you. It gives a little bit of extra last hit damage, but when you're a melee character and you're going to potentially be taking a lot of damage, so they've got three ranged heroes, so one of them's going to be in your lane and going to be harassing you. You really want to have a stout shield, ideally, or what you can do is go the Ring of Prot, because you often want to go a Ring of Aquila on Slark anyway, so you can buy the Ring of Protection from base, go a Tango and a Salve, and then as soon as the game starts and you go for rune, you can head straight up to the side shop and you tick about 10 gold and you can buy a stout shield as well. So then you have the stout shield giving you, protecting you from taking damage and keeping your health total high, and 3 extra armor from Ring of Pot, which takes you from Ring of Prot, which takes you from 2 up to 5, which just really helps you sustain more damage in lane, because all you need to do as Slark is make your tangos and yourself last you to level 6, and it's usually useful if your support laner can like leave you to go do pulls or leave to go help mid or something about level 4, so that really helps accelerate you to level 6, and then you get your ulti up and then you can sustain yourself in lane completely fine after that. So and if you want to go poor man's shield, you can always buy the slippers of agility from side shop as well. Once I've got this thing in the way, that button. Yeah, the slippers of agility you can buy from side shop. So it makes a huge difference. It actually seems like a minor thing, but it's really, really important. Because if you just weigh it up, you think about how many extra last hits you're going to get by having 6 more damage, compared to how many more last hits you're going to have by having a bigger health pool, which lets you contest last hits. As soon as you get low, you can't go contest at all, so it doesn't matter that you have that 6 extra damage. This is fine, you can't really contest here. They're too scary to go on, and you should hopefully get this rune. You need to get here quicker and start blocking this lane, which you do, but you sort of paused for a little bit. But you did a good job of blocking the range creep. But here you got 2 heroes in your lane and you against 1, so you just want to basically don't take any damage at this point from the Lich. And here, there's no point going in. You're going in and you've taken a couple of hits from the Lich and you're already lost, 150 health when there's nothing to last hit. All of the creeps that you're coming in to last hit are full, right? They're over half. So there's no point you being even in range of him hitting you. This isn't going to get low either. You've taken over half your life here without getting. None of their creeps have died. You haven't even had to attempt to last it yet. If you were trying to deny, don't. There's no point you trying to deny there. It's not worth losing half your health over, especially when you only have 8 tangos for regen and you don't have any build with damage reduction. This is another mistake you make. I just watched the first couple of minutes of this at the start, but when you look here, this is really dangerous. They've got four melee creeps and 2 ranged, and for some reason you decide to go in and hit him. You don't even have essence shift up, so you're trying to jab at him a little bit. I understand that, but here, this creep's about to die. These are all going to aggro on you, so you're getting hit by 6 creeps and a Tide Hunter and a Lich, and you got 1 attack on a Tide who has Kraken, so you're going to do piddly squat, and you're not going to steal anything with essence shift, and yeah, you're just about dead. And you don't have a salve. This is where a salve really helps in lane. You can just, when you get that low, you can just, if you make a mistake or something, you can just pop it, hide for a second, and you're back up to full. You don't have to sit there waiting for tangos to regen you up. And now you're super behind. And him not being there at the start was, not your fault, but everything else in this lane that's made it go poorly so far has been mostly your decision making. I mean, the Warlock could potentially been zoning a little bit better, but he hasn't been doing a bad job. Here, you don't want to be fighting either. Just look how much damage you take. You're going in with 400 health, and if he uses Frost Nova and his Anchor Smash, you don't have any armor left as well. As soon as you, oh god. Yeah, I don't know. It's scary. He gets the return kill, but it's just not worth it. I assume that you were thinking he was going to heal you or something. And you go bottle as well, which I really don't like. It's not terrible, but... Oh, is that his bottle? No. That's really weird. I mean... The thing with going for these kills, you're gonna... is that you have no regen afterwards, right? Like, you don't want to be this aggressive when you don't have any way to regen. Because what's going to happen if you get that kill, right? You get down to 100 HP, he's used his heal on the other guy. Well, for one, you died anyway because you got into tower range, but even if you get back, it's super hard to regen back up to a point where you can actually do anything, and as soon as this lich respawns, he's probably just going to buy a TP and we didn't, but normally he'll just buy a TP, come back to lane, and then you can't do anything in the lane again. So you have to kind of pick your times to go for kills. Like, don't just go in when there's an entire creep wave and you're going to have to tank tower damage and you don't have any form of, like, you know, good damage reduction. I guess you have your PMS now, but I don't know. You don't value your health enough. It's much more important to get to level 6 than it is to trade your life for a lich. And to just get early farm. This is just ridiculous. He just needs to stop and start punching. You need to pounce him here so that he can't just kill your warlock. You waited too long. Because he's just going to chase your warlock down and slowly kill him. So you need to instantly pounce him here so that your warlock can start running. If you had pounced him here, he would have got away. Now you're dead as well. Yeah. Tidehunter's really scary to like try to man fight because his anchor smash reduces the amount of damage you do to him by half, right? So, and it does 125 damage to you. So it's really, really inefficient to try to trade hits with a tide unless you go 2 points in essence shift, because it increases the duration that you steal the stats from 15 to 30, and 30 is a lot more relevant if you're going to just keep chipping away at him. But that's normally something I would do more often in a lane that has just a tide. Like if it was a solo tide and you can sort of bully him and steal a few stacks of shift and get a herbal venom like you have, and you can just keep jabbing at him and stealing it. The problem with this lane is if you go high points in essence shift and you don't have any of your utility, then if you want to fight, it's actually really difficult. And every time you try to chip at them, you're going to just get hit by an Anchor Smash and a Frost Nova, because this guy's got unlimited mana and Anchor Smash costs nothing, right? So it's actually really hard to chip with Essence Shift, so I'd be just sticking with the 1 point. And I probably wouldn't have gone the Orb of Venom. I'd be trying to play more defensive this lane. I would have been going for like a Ring of Bassi and Boots and a Magic Wand for sure. I would have picked up a Magic Wand early, because you've got two guys that are spamming a lot of spells. Did you pounce into nothing there? So a lot of people do this as well, like you'll do like panic leaps. Oh, you leapt as you got ravaged. Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. I thought you leapt afterwards into him. But yeah. I mean, you guys are unfavored in this lane anyway, and you have to realize that, right? So like, you don't want to be playing aggressive against a Tide Lich. You want to be playing defensively. You have a Warlock who's not an aggressive hero, but he's very good defensively. Like, if you can just live, use him to heal you up, and keep you keep you at a high enough health total that you can just get your farm. And you have enough defensive items like Stelts and Bassi, Ring of Bassi and stuff, that you don't just die all the time. Or get low from chip damage, and you have a magic stick, which you now have, so that you can, you know, like if you had a magic stick earlier and they had cast a bunch of spells, he ravages you there, you pop a stick and heal for a bunch and you potentially live. So you need to be going for more defensive items rather than offensive ones like Orb of Venom, and right from the start of the game too. This is fine, you're just soaking XP. You're guys tried to go somewhere else to do whatever. What you can do here, because they're not being super aggressive, is you can try to attack click the Tide. Like, I just hope you know what I mean. Like, if you push A and click on him, or right click on him, it'll aggro these creeps towards you and they'll run up here, so that when they get low, you only have to run just around this tree to try to hit it. He can see you there. Yeah, through that gap. So you're nearly 6 here, so you wanna... I think you're out of your XP range where you are there. 190. Oh no, you're just in it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So you're doing the right thing, I think, here, just trying to tick 6. But, yeah. They're just gonna go real deep.
Dire's top tower is under
So he got
attack.
Ravage again? Yeah, he does. Wand. He didn't even have to blow Ravage. I think when you, because you don't have boots. Yeah, that's the other rough thing about this build you've gone with the Oov and buying a Ring of Prot and stuff. You gotta have boots way earlier, otherwise they can just run you down like this.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Boots is way more important than a Bassi.
Dire's middle tower.
In this stage of the game, I mean. If you can get your Bassi really early, then that's good. But at this point, the way you've built up in this game, I would have gone boots. You need to just go here, farm this. There's no point stacking. You stack too late anyway, I don't think that, might actually.
Dire's
Oh no, you hit it at 53.
Dire's
But I mean, yeah, I don't know. This is a free lane of farm. I'd be taking that every day over farming a double stack. Especially like when you're so squishy. It's going to take you so long to farm it. You've just missed like 2 waves of free farm there. It's just really, really inefficient farming. What you should have done is push this wave out to here, and then as soon as someone came to the lane, then run back and farmed all this. No one's actually in your jungle. Also, you need to have a TP, I think, because you're level 6 now and these guys are diving your tower. If you have, like if this Quap had a brain, maybe he would have been rotating earlier. And if they've used their shit, they've used Ravage, they've used Necro ulti in that. If you TP in here, or even just run, pounce on a guy, you got a Quap and a Windrunner coming in with, you know, Quap ulti, Shackle. Like you could have helped defend your tower there. Punish over aggression. You don't need to be jungling here again. This is free lane. It's way better to be farming a free lane than it is to be jungling. It's just bad luck, I think.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
You did have Wand there. The other thing you can do is as soon as you see him, just ulti. Pop your Wand and ulti, and you just run really fast, and they can't kill you.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This is a really important fight that you're dead for now. But yeah, having 10 stick charges and dying with it's pretty... something you need to work on basically. You need to realize that as soon as you come out of your ulti there, you're dead, right? Like, this is all good stuff. But now that your ulti's about to end, you need to be running this way.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
You need to dance around, use your ulti, get them low. If you can't quite get the kill, just back off, run around here, hide behind the tree, like regen up again and then come back and re-engage. You want to come in and out of fights as Slark. You don't want to be sort of permanently just fighting until you die, or fighting until you need to use ulti, waiting for your ulti to run out and then continuing to fight. You want to be a bit more tactical about it.
Is under attack.
You can switch to edgy treads after you use your spells.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's going to be a pretty quick game, but I think
Tower is under attack.
there's some valuable sort of lessons to learn from it as well.
Dire's top tower
I think the game would have gone somewhat differently. I think the Tide being as big as he... Wow, he went the fucking weird items, man. What the fuck? But I mean, yeah, like Lich has a mech that's pretty massive. Your other lanes didn't do particularly well either, but but
Dire's
yeah,
middle
you
tower
can still
is under
realize the
attack.
part that you played in this game not going well.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under
And I
attack.
think that's... Oh, there's still a lot more game to go. Okay. Let's just see if you guys get some, like, turnaround team wipes or something. So you bought a bunch of wards as well. I don't particularly like that. I know you have to buy some, but don't buy 3. I don't know if you bought them or just picked them up or whatever. But if I'm playing core and no one's warding, I'll just ask nicely if people would ward, and if they won't, or if I'm playing mid and they haven't done it, I'll just buy myself one sometimes, you know, to lane for myself, but you shouldn't be spending your time running around warding the entire map. You just walked into some raises there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower.
Not sure why this game takes so long to close out.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Bottom tower is under attack.
If you're playing a safe lane carry, you need to be much more careful with your life early.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower
Yeah,
has
like
fallen.
early and mid game deaths. Sorry, my phone went off. Are super scary. If you see his Ravage animation, pop your ulti. Like you can try to time that. So you see him wind up here, and he does the like little arm thing. You can pop your R, your ultimate. So even though it still hits you, you won't get killed afterwards, and you'll be regening the whole time. Because this guy just doesn't even take any damage now. Shit's ridiculous. Wow.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
But yeah, I think this game's over. I think it's a bit arbitrary watching the rest of it. Wow, you guys actually get a...
Is under attack.
You guys start to come back a little bit. It's pretty crazy.
Radiant's bottom tower. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You don't need to Dark Pact every time it's up either. If you're just running away, like if you see him starting to charge his stun, then cast it, but otherwise you're just doing unnecessary damage to yourself. Did you have? Oh yeah, you had your Lithos up when you died. You're still gonna die anyway, but whatever. So, maybe it wasn't the best game to watch, but I think like most of these games that I watch, the early game laning phase has such a huge impact on the game, and I think that's really what you can focus on from this game. I don't think there's too much value in the rest of it, because it completely changes the dynamic of how the rest of the game goes, basically. If you're that far behind from the start, the rest of the game is just going to go very poorly unless the rest of your lanes do really well. But yeah, hopefully you learned something. Sorry it was a short one. Just for you, I know this won't matter to anyone else, but before I say that actually, if anyone else wants to get their games done, they're normally a bit longer than this, a bit more in detail, but this game was just a particularly short game. You can just reply on here or pop into my Twitch stream and send me a message through Twitch. They're a bit hard for me to see on there, so generally if you find my Twitch stream when I'm on, but I guess the best way would just be to post a comment on this YouTube video. But yeah, on the Ursa game, you need to go points in Earthshock. You didn't go any points in your clap, which is like really important. I obviously can't do that game now because it's been too long to actually download it, but I saw you just went overpower and fury swipes up until level 8. Normally I only get like 1 point in each of those, and I have 3 points in my queue. But yeah, it's just much more important to have that damage, the burstable damage from the stun early in the game and the slow, unless you're like jungling and then are going to go for an early Roshan. I guess that's the only exception. Pretty much every other time you want to have at least 3 points in your clap. But yeah, I might do an Ursa game another time. I really enjoy playing Ursa. Cool. Thanks everybody. Bye.